So when we're talking about world building, we really have to think scene by scene and then break that down even further, think frame by frame. So here in this frame, we have Immortan Joe and his sons, and you can see that they all do look like a family or an apocalyptic tribe. You can see that they all fit the same culture and look, and you can believe that they're in a scene together, that that's something that we would see, which we'll talk about in a little bit here. But it all boils down to going back to the screenplay, taking a look and seeing what's in the story and what it is that you want to show and come across in each one of those frames and scenes. And again, building that into a bigger, all encompassing world. And that comes down by some people like to sketch out the frames, do a quick storyboard of what it should look like, maybe get an artist friend to fully draw out what you want the frame to look like. Just different things. Even hand sketches are great. Stick people to get an idea of what you want your frames to look like, and then expand upon those. What kind of props do you want to go into that frame in that scene? The trucks, that, for instance, in the background. Some great scenes with those in the movie, and how are you going to use those in just stationary use as well as when you're actually doing action scenes with them. Set decoration, what do we see behind the characters? Here in this one, it looks like apocalyptic, doom out in the middle of the desert somewhere, and it's actually Australia, like they make the joke in the script every time. But that very well could be filmed in California. You could go out into the desert, into the mountains, high desert here, and film something like this with that same kind of set decoration. You really have to think about, what are you going to put in the background? What are you not going to show? You could be in a forest that's actually right behind somebody's house. I've actually done films like that myself, where we've used the house as the production staging, and then shot in the backyard because it faced to what looked like a forest, and really it's just a person's backyard. So really think about how that set decoration plays. The actors, where are you actually going to place them? What do they do in the scene? What kind of wardrobe are they going to wear? Here we see Morton Joe and his sons again. The wardrobes look incredible. They're all fitting. They give you that sense that they're all part of the same group. And then the movement in the scene, is it stationary? Is it a quick just scene that you're going to show something, or something actually happening? Where does the movement go, and what are we going to see when you pan that camera? Again, what is the frame showing us is really what it's all boiling down to. And going down to the last point, which is suspension of disbelief. When we're talking about believability, not necessarily that we believe that this is the world, but that we can sit back in our chair and we can suspend our belief that this could happen, that this could be an apocalyptic world. And that's really the goal of building the world when we look at any of them, whether it's Star Wars, Star Trek, Game of Thrones. All of these great productions have in common that idea of that it's an encompassing world that the story takes place in. And I think that the more time that you take to think about that, to write that, and hash that all out before you go forward with the production, really gives you an advantage and a step up. So think about all those things when you're thinking about world building.